This is the fourth and final installment to my detailed dolly storage tour video series. Today I'm going to be showing you my personal favorite place in the basement, which is also the newest space that I did about 2 years ago now. We call it Babyland. It is where most of my Cabbage Patch dolls are displayed, but also it is where the majority of my accessories and American Girl clothes are stored. I do have 3 other parts to this series where I go through the other parts of the basement where other things are stored, so if you haven't seen those videos, feel free to check them out. And I do have a 2025 and 2023 overview of all my doll storage if you want to see that. These videos in this series are more detailed. I'm going through every drawer, every container. I'm really taking my time to point things out instead of giving you just an overall feel. As I said in the other previous installments, none of this happened overnight. I have a very large collection and a very organized system of storing them, but this took years to acquire the dolls and to work out the storage system. I've been into dolls for most of my life, close to 30 years now. Just keep that in mind if you are a newer collector or you're looking to organize your dolls better. These things take time, and I thrifted a lot of my storage stuff and also my dolls. I got some of it for free on the side of the road, as well as a lot of my dolls, and I waited for sales on certain things that I wanted to buy specially, and if it was stuff that I couldn't just get on sale, I would buy it in increments. Like I said, this was a labor of love, and it's kind of always a work in progress, and you are gonna see some old pieces of furniture that I've repurposed, because if it's not broken, don't fix it. That's my motto. I just wanted to use what we had. If I could repurpose it, it might not be the world's most aesthetically pleasing thing, but I'm really happy with my doll storage now. It took me a long time, up until 2 years ago, to really enjoy how I store things and feel like I was using my space to the best of its potential. This room, which is my parents' old bedroom, it is my favorite place. It's where my cabbies are, and I just love being in there, and it's a great place to film and store stuff. So I hope you enjoy seeing it in great detail, and without further ado, let's get on to the video. Welcome to Babyland. This is a really large room that used to be my parents' bedroom when my grandmother lived with us. You could fit a Cali king-sized bed over there, and there was still tons of room. However, we weren't able to really utilize this to much of any of its potential up until summer 2023, after our hot water heater, which wasn't fitted properly, mini flooded the basement, and we were doing some reorganizing, and I just decided I'm going to see if I can take apart that bed and cut up the mattress and get it all out of here so we have more space for our dolls. And I absolutely love this room now. It's my favorite place to be in the basement. We film in here, and I feel like it's a really good place to store stuff. Like I said, film videos. I can easily do collection videos in here, and I don't have to haul containers of dolls up the stairs to my sister's room, because this room has pretty good lighting, because as you can see, it has several windows. So what's in here is mainly some American Girl clothes, the bulk of the doll accessories and shoes, and my Cabbage Patch dolls, who I have a few upstairs, but most of them are down here. That is why it's called Babyland. So let's start in this little corner over here. It's kind of dark. I have the light on outside this room too, so you can see them better. This was my dad's old dresser, and I'm not going to go through every drawer in this room. I'll tell you what's in it, but like I said in my previous installment, I bag, that's an empty one, but I bag my doll clothes, so you're not really going to see anything particularly exciting in these drawers. So I'll just tell you what's in each of them, but you're just going to see Ziplocs. It's really not that exciting. So on top here we have Cecile Marie Grace's bed that I got at a thrift store at the beginning of last year, and I have it with some of my Cabbage Patch dolls. Dorothy, Delilah, and Alicia May, and then Picasso, who's my Jesmar. And this is my Bratz Big Babies bike. I do have Bratz Big Babies. I used to have them out on display, but they're currently in my large doll bin. And then this is a little piggy bank that was actually in my room when I was a kid, and I didn't know I even still had it. I was under the like built-in curio cabinet upstairs, and when I was going through that I found it wrapped up, and I'm like, oh, that would be perfect for Babyland. And then down here in this little dark corner, this wagon my dad found on the side of the road for free, and he put it back together for me and had me paint like the base of it blue, and he painted the wheels, like the metal parts. And this is where some of my Koosas are. So we have Monty, Nala, oh my gosh, I feel bad, I forget her name, and my other girl. And this is all Cabbage Patch clothing. This is where like all my real Cabbage Patch clothing is, except this bottom drawer, which is bedding. So these are preemie clothes. This is sleepers, dresses, other outfits, and then the stuff that's in this bottom drawer here. This isn't all bagged. These are like large bedding and doll cases, and I do have potpourri in every drawer to keep it smelling nice and just to deter any like rodents. We live in the woods, so despite having a cat who likes to catch mice and, you know, making sure to keep the house really clean, it's inevitable that sometimes mice get in here, though I don't really have a problem in the basement, surprisingly. So there's also 2 closet doors in here, but it's actually one huge closet that runs from here to there, and there's a door in the other room from part 2 that connects to it. That was my closet, so my parents and I all shared like one big closet. So that was my dad's, that was my mom's, and then mine was in the middle, and I had like the least amount of space, so because of like where the support beam is. So what's in here is all my really big scale dollhouses. And most of these I actually got for free or really, really cheap. I seldom pay big money for playsets. So this is my 2013 dream house in this bag, and they're all bagged to keep bugs out, or like if there were mice that came in here, to keep them from getting dusty. This is my Disney Princess castle, the Freaky Fusion catacombs. Then we have the 2 Monster High Deadluxe schools. So one of them someone gave my sister that belonged to her kids. That's a nicer one. And then which is over there, which is easier to access. And then the other one we got for a few dollars at the flea market or the Salvation Army. And then the catacombs we got at the flea market for a few dollars. And then on this side, this isn't like as huge houses, but these are the ones that are too big to fit like on the shelves out in the other area. So I did point out what some of these things were in my last tour, but see, that's a support beam, and my closet was like right there. That's my door, and you can see there's like a gap where the 2 big metal rods end. So, and my parents had a lot of clothes. That is the top floor to the 3-story dream house from 2005, and then beneath that is my Our Generation stable that has 2 American Girl horses, and that's the rest of the 3-story dream house. So Colleen was given the Our Generation stable for free. We found the 3-story dream house outside one of our neighbors' houses for free back in 2015. This is the 2000 Barbie dream house, which is one of the few that I actually paid, the only one that I paid good money for actually in this whole closet. I got it at the flea market last year in like 2024 actually for I think $25. And then this is the High School Musical High School. I got that at the flea market for $1. My Grand Hotel, which is the only brand new item. My dad got me this for my 12th birthday. Then we have the Ultimate Beach Party House that we got for free at the flea market, and the Frozen Castle, which we got for I think $4 at a thrift store. And I try to keep them in a way there where it's easy to get them out. So if I need, say, if I need one that's further back, you just pull each one out and like move it over here, and then it all goes back in the same order. So it's not actually difficult to get things out of there, if you were wondering. So most of the dressers ended up in this room. These were ones that were already in the house, and we made them work. So these 2 are my sister's teenage furniture set. They're kind of cheaply made, but they hold American Girl clothes, and they get the job done just fine. So on top here, you can see there's a mirror here that's turned around, and then this one goes to her dresser upstairs that was my grandmother's. she has a big painting over her bureau, so she can't have this. So I just keep them like safely tucked behind here so they don't get all broken, if you're wondering what that is all about. These are my 3 large-scale childhood Batmans. Batman's my favorite superhero. I was obsessed with him as a kid, and these 3 were really special to me. He's my newest one. I got him, how old was I when I got him? I don't even remember. I was in middle school or maybe like freshman year in high school. My dad bought me him at Six Flags. And then this is my favorite. He is my favorite piece in my Batman collection, actually. He's my Michael Keaton from Batman Returns. He was a Christmas present, I think in 2000, from my dad. He picked out a bunch of Batman stuff from the flea market for me, and I just thought he was the coolest thing ever. And then this is my Applause Batman that was from a flea market too that I had as a kid. I did have to like sew his little tag back on, but I love them. They're really special, and as a kid, I actually like slept with all 3 of them. I put them at the foot of my bed and I'd cover them up with a blanket. And then these are just some cups that were my mom's for decoration that I keep some things when we're filming, or like if I need to do some maintenance in here. So this is like a spare makeup brush. That's what I use to like dust dolls off. A wig brush, a rat tail comb, another brush, and then in here just this is just a jar that has some hair elastics in it, because when I do collection videos, I film them in here, as I said before, and that way if someone's hair elastic is broken, I don't have to run back upstairs, and if they have little like doll crumbs on them, I can just brush their faces off. So in this guy, this is Kaya's clothes, Felicity and Elizabeth's, Josephina's, Rebecca's? No, Addie's, and then Rebecca's. And then in these drawers, I believe this is empty. Yeah, this one's empty. This is Caroline's drawer. This one is empty. Cecile and Marie, Kirsten, Kit, yep, Kit and Melody. And so then I have an assortment of these stackable drawers. So these colorful ones, I have a 4th one over there. I bought them at Walmart like probably close to 11 or 12 years ago in increments, and that's where originally most of my little accessories could fit. They've since expanded out, so you can see I have little labels on every drawer. Most of them are tucked inside, but this is so opaque that I put them on the outside there. So in this top one, this has all my LOL cups. They made that many that they need in their own drawer. These are LOL and OMG purses and bags. And this is miscellaneous LOL stuff. So we've got like a big thing of glasses. This is like, I have some American Girl boxes in here. They're hats and headbands, and then just loose stuff. Then this is my Cave Club drawer, and I have one of these really tiny guys with their little stuff because I have pretty much all the Cave Club dolls they made, so it's just easier to have their own tiny little sorter in here. Then we have miscellaneous MGA, so this thing that I made out of an old box has hats in it, and then everything else kind of freestyles. There's also some like mermaid stuff, Rainbow High. Then we have Moxie Girls. I have a lot of stuff for them. This is Skipper. Again, these are all like recycled boxes. Strawberry Shortcake, and again, they don't have that many accessories, so they just have their own personal tiny tackle box in here. And then this bottom one is Liv. So then this guy, I actually bought this at the flea market, and I had American Girl stuff in it for years, but it actually is now just for all like headwear for Barbie sized dolls. So helmets, hats, crowns, and visors, and you can see these are subdivided. And then this one has some empties because I recently did some reorganization. So we have pots and pans. You can see all the lids are in here. Kitchen appliances. This guy's empty. This one is instruments. Project MC Squared. This guy is empty for now. I like to have growing room because sometimes they'll come out with like some kind of new cool type of doll that I want to collect, or if I just happen to acquire, say, like Sunshine Family, if I ended up with a lot of their accessories, they could have their own drawer. And then these are all like dishes and food. This is my favorite of the accessory organizers. Me and my sister love doll food. So I recently reorganized these, so they're gonna be kind of empty. And I just use whatever I have on hand. So these are all just like what would fit in here. A lot of drink things. More dishes. And for stuff that's like all the way back there, you can just pull these out and slide them. And you can see I even made ones with dividers. So like those are all cups, and then we have random kitchen stuff like canisters, bowls, big plates, takeout containers, candelabras, pie tins, saucers. These are all like kitchen utensils. This guy is actually empty right now. Then we have this one, which again, this is empty for the time being. We have kettles, like other plates. I think these were put in the wrong, yeah, those were put in the wrong drawer. Smaller, like medium-sized plates, large bowls, big water bottles and canteens. These are all alcoholic beverages. They're all from like Amazon. And then some other types of drinks. More food. Look how much soda Barbie has. And then these are all soda cans. Soda bottles. Smaller water bottles. Snacks, cookies. These are all donuts that went to our childhood donut shop. Burgers. And then this is more food. A lot of desserts here, so like I said, they go back, like that's pastas. Breads, popcorn. And you can see it's like pretty easy to pull these out, and if we're setting up like a big photo, we'll sometimes just take the whole unit, or you can pull out the drawers, or you can just take out the organizer. Like when I needed to do a land of sweets for our Nutcracker video last Christmas, I would just like empty out these compartments. And then the last one has like kind of like kid and baby dishes and food and diapers, stuff you'd find at the store. Pet food, pet dishes. These are all Happy Meal trays. These are all tiny cakes. So when it comes to food, we don't separate like Skipper and Stacy and Kelly's food. We keep all of like the Barbie affiliated people's food together, whereas the rest of their accessories will subdivide because we have like so much stuff. But when you're playing with doll food, you're playing with doll food, so that's why that's all together. And then next to the closet, we have this cute little high chair, which my friend Lisa's dad gave us some years ago, and then I painted it in 2021 when I got my first Cabbage Patch doll. It used to be stained like brown, and then I painted it white, and I did these like leafy designs, and then I made a cushion for it. And this is Brigitte, our soft sculpture. She was a gift, so this is a perfect chair for her. And then I have these two bookcases that I got at Walmart. I have two white ones upstairs for doll display. They didn't have any more white ones when I wanted to get this for games, so. And this one is actually kind of falling apart. It can't be moved again, so at some point we'll probably need to replace it, but this isn't like stuff we really use. Not all of this is doll related, as you can see, but I have my Bratz cases up there. I don't have anything in them. I used to keep like my Bratz dolls and clothes in there back when I was a kid. This was my childhood one. My dad got this for me when I had teeth pulled to get braces put on, and it was like really traumatic. I was like bleeding, my teeth had broken off, they had to like go in and pull them out. So he took me to Walmart and got me Jammin' and Jamaican Noli in this Bratz case. But the other ones are all secondhand. Like I bought one of these separate, one of them had clothes in it. This one I got at a thrift store. This one came with like a big wad of stuff I bought. And then these are all like American Girl related books. So we have like the big guides. These are my like two Kaya art studios. As a perfectionist, when I bought my first one and I messed up, I got really upset, so my dad bought me a second one. And then we have like our paper dolls, and then these are like non-American Girl paper dolls, like Raggedy Ann and Andy. These are really sentimental childhood ones. And we have our Anne of Green Gables. And then these are some like big pets that They won't fit with the other pets, and I could put them in like a separate container, but they're cute and they don't get really dusty too easy. So we have Sisu back there, and then my Cave Club dinosaurs, and Ginger, who was a Christmas gift from my Uncle Ray back in 2019. She's really special. These are all like Girl of the Year books, and like the mysteries and the short stories and the world books. A lot of these we had as kids, and a lot of them came with dolls. And then these are all the historical books, which I did some pruning in here at some point because I had a lot of duplicated copies of books that came with dolls, and I guess I decided to like give them to Colleen to bring into work, so I don't actually have like the like Meet Josephina book in this style. That was my sister's, for instance, but that's okay. Like, you can read the stories still, and they're all like illustrated. They used to be really common. Like, you could get these at the dollar store. And then Colleen has a couple duplicated Babysitter's Club books down here. And then this is where I keep all of my Barbie-sized horses. I could put them in a container, but as a kid I had a lot of bad luck with their legs breaking. You can see where my dad had to like put a metal pin through Ginger, for instance. I would just prefer them to be standing upright so they're not getting jostled around, because these were really special to me. I loved collecting horses as a kid. Like, this is one of my oldest toys. This is Ginger. He's the Star Stepper, and I got him at the Salvation Army when I was a kid for a couple dollars, and one of my favorite toys of all time. And a lot of these I had growing up. Like, this is Ocean. This one's Ocean. She was a birthday gift when I turned 10, I think, maybe 11. She was from my Auntie Kim and Uncle Ray, and my dad actually had to spray paint her with me the last year he was alive, because you can see I have another one, like an original one, that's wearing my childhood doll saddle and stuff. See how this one yellowed? Ocean over here, she yellowed even more. So yeah, we have all of them. I have some Bratz horses that are special. Like, my dad got me the Fashion Pixies glowing unicorn and Sheridan, which was like a Big Lots type set. This is one of my sister's oldest horses. She came with like a clone Jeep and horse trailer that we still have. This is another one of my old ones. This is Dallas. I got her at the Salvation Army as a kid. I named her Sabrina. I played with her a lot. Our surviving childhood Nibbles horse, who has cut hair. Mine lost her tail. Her name was Cookie. And then these are all just Harry Potter games and other board games. Colleen's like a huge Harry Potter collector. And then those are all just, there are some doll books over here, and like my Batman book, and some like a binder of doll instructions, but some of it's just work stuff for Colleen, and all my books from cosmetology school. And then this is my childhood dresser. The matching one was in part 1, the tall bureau. Sorry, there's like light coming in through here. So this is all American Girl clothes again. Let's see. So this is Isabel and Nikki. This is Emily. Yep, Emily. And these are Bratz Big Baby's clothes. We have Samantha and Nellie, Molly, because Molly and Emily had to get separated because Molly has that many clothes. Julie and Ivy. And then these two are just some sentimental, like, handmade clothes and things we had growing up. Like, my meme made matching ponchos for Bitty Baby and Molly that matched the poncho she made for herself. So, like, we keep those things that can't hang. And then this is Polly Pockets, like all our childhood Polly Pockets. I got most of these at the flea market in like a bin together, and then these are where the actual little Polly dolls are kept. We played with them as dolls for our dolls, honestly. Ooh. All of this is shoe storage, these 2 whole racks. So, we have my scene shoes. Miscellaneous large shoes for anything Barbie size. You know, you got your cutie reveal feet and big boots and roller skates, flippers. These are just boots. Ken and other man doll shoes. And if they're prone to getting kind of like, I don't know, if they're like, they're prone to attracting mildew, or just like the plasticizer leaches out and can make a powdery substance, I bag them. This is miscellaneous Monster High. My other Monster High shoes are over there, and they're organized by character because I have that many. And then these are large shoes that don't have mates. I save all of my like missing shoes. I've done that since I was a kid. You won't believe how many I've mated together over the years. These are Bratz boots. They kind of fall over sometimes when you open them. And then more Bratz boots. Again, a lot of them kind of fall over, but you get the idea. These are my Bratz shoes that don't have mates, and this is my bag of smaller Bratz shoes that don't have mates. We have miscellaneous boys shoes, which I remember when I only had one spare pair of Bratz boys shoes left, and I wanted to buy this Kobe doll at the flea market, and I thought I didn't have an extra pair at the time, so I left him behind. And then like the weekend later, I went to a yard sale and I bought a Cameron and Dylan doll who had like spare shoes or something, and I was like, now I have spare shoes. But luckily I was able to get that Kobe, so like I worked really hard to acquire this many doll shoes. I like hoarded. These are like boys sandals. I split these up because they were all in one drawer at some point and were really full, so that's why there's more growing room. These are all sneakers and ice skates. These are like chunky closed-toe shoes, chunky sandals, strappy sandals, boots. They do get jostled, but... And then these are all like bare feet and slippers. And then this guy, I got this for free, actually this summer. Someone on my street put it out and it had rainwater in it, but I cleaned it and it's perfect because we had some issues. That's why some of those drawers are empty. We had some with our gardening stuff. You can see that there's just a lot of bigger things. So, and I love my doll gardening stuff, and I have some mini-verse plants in here, and not all of it's actually for dolls, but if it works, it works. And this is just the truly miscellaneous Barbie-sized accessory drawer, like campfires and the disco ball from my Generation Girl school. And then this one has household stuff. So we have lamps and lanterns. These are all different organizers you'd need around the house. And then other householdy stuff, like the coal bucket from my Ideal Jody playset, my Sunshine Family, spinning wheel, the ironing board, my vacuum. And then this drawer is empty. And then over here are more shoes. So I do have an empty one. I got this at a thrift store last year. It was really cheap, so I was like, that's perfect for doll shoes, I'll grab it. I got this guy for free in 2023 at the flea market. This one holds missing shoes. And you can see I have little labels I put on them because this isn't in the best shape, so I don't care that I tape stuff to it. But you can see I kind of tried to organize it a little bit better because I do get a lot of mismatched shoes. So it's just nice to have a really good way to organize them because I wouldn't want to throw them out because you do mate a lot of shoes. And then this is, we've had this for a long time. We got this in the fall of 2011. This is from the Ariel yard sale bin. We got a bunch of doll stuff for I think $7. And you can see there's shoes in there. And then the one behind it is our childhood one. This one is missing the plastic door. I played with this a lot as a kid. I used it sometimes in my doll's closet, or most of the time it was a pantry. So you can see this one doesn't have stuff in every drawer. These are Barbie pumps, warm tones, random, neutral, work boots. Some of them are I have so many of a certain mold. Small boots, mini doll shoes like Dawn and other tiny dolls, Jody and miscellaneous small dolls, Kid Core Katie boots, Kid Core Katie sneakers, and miscellaneous Kid Core Katie. My Rainbow and Shadow High drawer, my Strawberry Shortcake drawer, Liv, Disney and animated dolls, specialty and off-brand dolls. So there's some Kid Core Kelsey shoes, and I got some really awesome shoes from this Amazon dressmaking kit. Ever After High, Monster High Boys, Monster High Frankie, Draculaura, Claudine. We have Mary-Kate and Ashley Boots and Sporting, Mary-Kate and Ashley Miscellaneous, Mary-Kate and Ashley Open Toes and Sandals. We have Bratz Babies, Bratz Kids, and bear in mind all my Bratz dolls are wearing shoes. Like, these are just my extras. Little Bratz, Bratzillas, Moxie Girls, and then this guy up here was the first organizer I bought for my dolls when I got back into collecting. I got it at Harbor Freight with my dad. You can see like the back of it, I put cardboard so it wouldn't get dusty in there. So these are all like Skipper, Stacy, and Kelly shoes. So these are like miscellaneous Kelly. Kelly sneakers, Kelly sandals, Mary Jane's, High School Musical, We Three Friends, miscellaneous Stacy, Stacy flats, Skipper sandals and dress shoes, Skipper flats, sneakers, boots. Hardware organizer I got at the Salvation Army some years ago. It was filthy and it had a few missing or broken drawers, but I saw the potential in this. This is amazing for my Barbie shoes. So I'm not going to open all of these because you can see right through them pretty clearly. I don't have labels on these because their drawers are kind of tiny up here, so you can see though what molds I put in there. And then this one is like Descendants shoes. And then this is OMG shoes. And then these I was able to label, so. Let's see. I like my Barbie shoes. I used to keep all my doll shoes in like different tins, but it's so much easier having them subdivided in little drawers, because if you get like dolls at the flea market or you buy them new, or you're putting shoes away after a photo shoot, or they just won't stay on a doll, you can just come over, find the drawer, drop them in. That's why I love the drawer system. Alright, so then we have these three big storage units. So one of them I actually used to have upstairs for arts and crafts stuff. I got it with a gift card, I think, for my birthday back in 2012. I ended up buying a second one, I think, also for arts and crafts. But then when I ended up figuring out a better system upstairs, they came down. And now they hold doll stuff. So this one, when there was a flood in the basement in 2023, I was trying to move it out of my way quickly and it kind of cracked. So that's why this drawer isn't where it's supposed to be, down there. So this is Bratz stuff. And I do use like containers and boxes to subdivide some of these things. And this is all my Bratz purses. And these aren't like their fabric purses, these are just their plastic ones. Fabric purses and hats and things are always bagged with the clothes. And then more Bratz stuff. I have like my Bratzillas. This is for Bratzillas. And more Bratz stuff. These are all just mannequins. And this came with my Dynamite Chloe. And then this is all my paper goods. I love cardboard accessories. They are some of my favorite things about dolls. And the way I store these, as you can see, I'll have like a bag for a designated category, and then I'll bag stuff, subdivide them. So you can see like there's Homecoming Queen Skipper. And then I also have this paper chain calling made for a photo prop. These are all things that we made for different photos that we think we could reuse. And I also have like little calendar. These were like the thumbnails on old calendars to show you what each page was. I cut those out if we needed like artwork hanging in like a photo. Then we have Stacy. Hidcore Katie and clone dolls like her. These are all like her special Katie combs. I usually don't keep doll brushes like this because they're useless, and I literally had like 500 of them at some point. But some of them are sentimental, so these are Katie's. More Hidcore Katie, and not all of this is obviously authentic brand. This is where a lot of like random McDonald's toys or like mini things that look like they would be good for like a toy room or something, or a kid's room. Some of these, like, we had as kids, like this little bendy snowman was Colleen's. This Pooh Bear. We got these at McDonald's, I think, as kids, and this was my mini perfume Princess Jasmine named Myra's favorite toy. And then this is all sporting stuff. And it's not subdivided by decade. Like, this is from the 70s. This is also from the 70s. We have a Mycene ski. We have modern Barbie snowboards. And then we have pet stuff. There's a whole chicken coop there. Then Mary-Kate and Ashley and their ever expanding stuff. This organizer my grandmother had in her one of her dressers. She kept jewelry in it, and I just keep some Mary-Kate and Ashley things in here. I have a ton of these Carlin style trunks for some reason. And then we have kids and babies. Again, a lot of this isn't like Barbie brand. These were from little like, play sets I would get at Big Lots my grandmother would buy me when I was a kid. They had like different types of baby dolls, and they just had really cool accessories, and some of the really, really cheap ones I don't have anymore because I pruned them out when I first started collecting, but I do have a lot of them still. And like this is Heart Family. Then we have my bags and luggage. I recently reorganized these. Whenever I finished a margarine tub, I would bring it down here to help subdivide some of the smaller bags. And this is actually from my childhood backpack. It was like the little keychain clip-on thing that my mama put my lunch money in. Then we have Monster High and Ever After High. And then more Monster High. This is all their bags. And then this is all their large random stuff. Moving on to this really cool built-in shelf over here, the rest of it, so we have shoes over there, and it's nice because those are narrow, but you don't want to have to like move them around a lot, so they're not likely to fall or anything over there. These bears someone just gave my sister. I think they belong to my sister's coworker's mother or something, and she just gave them to Colleen because she knows we have dolls. So they're just kind of like cute little photo props. They live down here for now. And we have Mallory, the talking Cabbage Patch, in this wheelchair, American Girl wheelchair we got at the flea market for, I think, $1. My growing hair Chrissy, who was a gift. This is my 1960s baby doll. I don't know what manufacturer she is. I think she was just like one of the really off-brand ones, not one of the nicer ones. Her name is Coraline. She was rescued from my sister's work. I have a whole video on how I restored her. It took me like a year to do this doll. And I know she's kind of like creepy looking, but we love her, and she has her whole own wardrobe, which you'll see in a few minutes. And then she has like this little knockoff Sunshine Pals or whatever they're called Cabbage Patch doll. And then this is Kirby. He's my newest Cabbage Patch doll. Then we have this basket that we got like one of those Christmas gift baskets we had for years, and I had saved it thinking it would come in handy, and it's perfect for Babyland. So we have my little tinies. We have Daisy, my Hasbro doll, Sue Young and Corinne, who are like the holiday Mattel Cabbage Patch dolls, and then Sheldon. We have Landon, who is sitting on this tiny little rocking chair that my dad's best friend got from the garbage for us. We have Tucker, my first Kusa, who's in the first Bitty Baby high chair. I got this with my big baby named Jelly at the flea market in a bundle deal. Then we have Clarence, and he is in this handmade high chair that my dad made for me as a kid from Bitty Baby. This is the American Girl like hotel bed that you would get if you stayed at one of those hotels in New York or other like places near American Girl stores. I got this in a lot on eBay with one of my beds I bought for display upstairs. So we have Renata, Penelope, and Tamanella on that. And then over there, that's just picture albums, photo albums, and this old Chupa Chups tin that my dad got me. He got it from the dump for free because it's got like this old-fashioned farm look to it, and he thought I'd like it. It used to be in my room, but now it's down here. And then this is my childhood toy chest. I think it was used when I got it. Honestly, I had it my whole life. I kept a lot of things in here over the years. I used to keep like just random toys. Then at some point I filled this with my doll clothes. At some point I tried keeping doll boxes as a kid, and I filled this up with doll boxes, and then I realized I don't care about the boxes, so I got rid of them. And now it has American Girl furniture. I'm not gonna like pull my dolls off because it's kind of annoying, but like there's just different furniture in there. And then on top here we have Kelly, Daniel Joseph, who is everything a Cabbage Patch doll aspires to be, Anna Teresa, she's named after my grandmother. She is one of my first ones. This is her very similar look-alike who I got recently. And then we have Noah, Patrick, Fern. What is your name? I feel so bad that I don't remember your name. Well, she's Poppy. She's Poppy, and I just feel so guilty that I forgot her name. And then down here, we have, this was my parents' TV stand. That's my sister's record player she got for Christmas one year. And my old Hello Kitty alarm clock. I had one just like this as a kid, but it died, like the buttons were caving in, and so I bought this one on eBay, and it still like plugs in, but it no longer really keeps time, so I'm kind of loath to part with it for the time being, so it's just decor for now. These are all just like yearbooks and things, and albums are in there. Not doll related, but there's some more albums. But my sister has a whole collection of Carly Simon albums, because my mom used to listen to her, and then after she passed away, Colleen got really into Carly Simon. And then we have some of my dad's old albums. There's also some Carpenter's ones that were Colleen's. But we have like Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky. This was my dad's favorite song. There was some Pink Floyd and Kansas. It's not all of their albums, but the ones that we would still listen to. We're getting on close to the end here. We have my childhood Cabbage Patch Cradle. I got this secondhand. I don't even remember the origins of it. I just always had it. It used to be for my Bitty Baby doll. I repainted it, I think in like 2020. It was before I actually started collecting Cabbage Patch dolls. I even made some bedding for it. So yeah, we have some of my cuties in here, like Lenore and Sarita and Winnie. I named a bunch of them after my guinea pigs. Murphy, Francesca, and Little Beezus, who is not an actual Cabbage Patch doll. She is one of those ones that like you could make with the pattern book or something, and Colleen thought she was real and got her off of Mercari. So yeah, she's still here. People asked me about where she was when I did my Cabbage Patch collection update. And then on here, we used to have two of these as kids. My grandmother picked them out at the mill stores and had my dad paint them, and then she made bedding for them. I don't have all the bedding anymore because it just got really old. I only have a few pieces, so I made this myself, and then this is an ornament we got for Christmas one year. This is Jess's bed, my American Girl Jess's bed. I ended up getting something else for upstairs that fit more American Girls, so now it's down here. The other one like it broke, and my dad never fixed it, and when we were cleaning the hoarded out basement, I didn't think I could fix it, so I just got rid of it. Maybe I could fix it now, but... So we have Nathan, we have Derek and Mark, my twins. We have my girl twins, whose names are escaping me. I know one of them is Jenny, but that would be her, but I'm just having brain farts right now. And then over here, we have my other little redhead. She's so cute. I do love my Cabbage Patch and know their names, but I'm having like brain farts. And then this is my mom's dresser. Hello. I used to have this in my room as a teenager, but I don't really like dressers. I feel like it's just a way to hoard clothes. I prefer just hanging everything in my closet. But I have some non-doll related knickknacks that belong to my mom. Although some of these like that mini tea set right there was my grandmother's. We use that sometimes for photos. And this one we got my mom for the last Christmas she was alive, and Colleen uses this a lot in American Girl photography. So those are some of the little knickknacks. And then this bench we got her for that same last Christmas she was alive at the mill stores, where they sell like unfinished handmade furniture. I don't even know if it's open still anymore, but we got it for her Christmas mice, and we still have the Christmas mice, but I put them away with the Christmas decorations, and now it's for my Cabbage Patch dolls. So we have Muffy. This is a girl I gendered her that way, but she's wearing this cute little boy outfit because we needed it for a video. We have Laura and Almanzo, named after the little house on the prairie. These both were gifts in 2023. They're a couple, and that's my sister's bear that my grandmother decorated for her and gave her as a kid. And then this is kind of morbid. Most of this is my morgue. So these are all my doll bodies I've harvested. Some I bought in lots on eBay to fix things, but most came from dolls that were that had really cut hair, or maybe their face paint was too severely damaged, or they were just really damaged in some way. Like some of them, their scalps will rip really terribly. So it's like Bratz bodies. Standard like 99 Barbie bodies. Some kind of specialty sort of bodies, like ones that have special feet, things like that. And then in here, these are our generation and Queen's Treasure clothes. I got some Queen's Treasure clothes for free on Amazon Vine. Then these are American Girl catalogs. I had like tons of catalogs as a kid, from like the late 90s to the mid 2000s, but at some point when I was a teenager and I wasn't collecting dolls, I just got rid of them all, which is such a travesty. I love looking through catalogs. And then these are all like standard 1966 Barbie bodies, bent arms, shanty arms, and straight arms. And I clean all my body donors and stuff. Everything is clean before it gets put away. Then random bodies like Skipper and Stacy and Ken, Kelly. This is years of hoarding bodies. And then these are like truly miscellaneous. I have some... Why are you in here? I have some truly miscellaneous ones like Kid Core Katie, and I think that's a Liv body, a Rainbow High body. Yeah, Monster High. And then this is Coraline, my 1960s baby dolls drawer of clothing. These are all the outfits I got for free from Amazon Vine. They're like the reborn clothes. She usually fits the like 20-inch clothes, I think. So she has a lot of cute outfits in here, and there's of course the three. So that is the tour of Babyland. I hope you enjoyed this detailed tour of Babyland. Like I said before, I have detailed tutorials on how and why I store every type of thing, so dolls, clothes, accessories, playsets. Feel free to check out my tips and tutorials playlist if that sounds like something you want to check out. And I also have all of the dolls in my collection and stuff for them documented on my Flickr, which is always linked below if you're really interested in seeing everything I have kind of individually. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.